Great. Well, let's go to adoption. So we've already started to talk about this, and I love these quotes, uh, Sam and Smaa and Xander, that you pulled together from your team. Again, this really gets into the change management and the micro learning lessons that Xander mentioned. How do you drive the adoption? And this is again, this is where I think a lot of companies, whether you're a small startup or a 20-30 billion-dollar medtech company. I mean, a lot of the companies that are implementing these kinds of programs struggle with adoption. So would love to hear from JuneBrain some more context around the quotes and the approach you took.
Sure. Yep. So, as Sam mentioned earlier, adoption is the probably most important part. You implement the system, but now you have to make sure that everyone uses it. So, I think with any change, any new system, there's always initial maybe resistance because again, it's new. The team doesn't know how to use it. So, we did have to kind of really just train the team, show them, make sure that it's kind of implemented in meetings. Hey, let's bring up Polarion. Let's look to see what you're talking about. But yes, after 3 months, the team, they've come to warm up to the tool and actually even like it now. So yes, yep. So we have different kind of quotes and feedback that the team had provided over the last few months of things that they like about the system. So yeah, again, a lot of these things I kind of mentioned in the business value. So again, from our clinical manager, she just mentioning, right now we have ongoing clinical studies. So just getting that real time feedback from the clinicians, from the patients as they are testing our device. Again, she can immediately add that into the DQMS system. So then we can start, prioritizing which requirements will be in this current version or maybe future versions later down that we can put on our roadmap. From myself, the quality manager. Again, audit prep. I'm actually excited for us to get our first audit one day because it'll be done in a few minutes, hopefully, with a tool since everything is just so simple. Um, Again, one of my favorite items on Polarion is actually the traceability matrix. Traceability matrix, for those that you guys that don't know, it shows you the full kind of map out of how everything traces in your system. So from system requirements to actually not, I'll even go up a higher level from user needs to system requirements to design requirements, design specs. All that's right there in the traceability matrix. So you can kind of see your full system and how everything is connected. Um, and then yeah, and again from our CEO, again during our Scrum calls, everything is matching and moving much more smoothly now. So real quick, I can kind of just go over the adoption approach. There's lots of different ways. Some people learn um, differently from others. So there's different training and adoption methods that we put together. So KPI identification. We now actually have a report that we can go in and kind of track to see everyone's Polarion usage. So I can see, hey, I saw you only use the tool, uh, 20 minutes this week, and versus other people that may be in it, more often 2 to 3 hours. It lets us to see how often are people using it. If they aren't using it enough, we can kind of dive deeper to figure out, are you having technical issues? Do you need more training? What do you need help with? Because we do want this to be something that they use on a daily basis. Also, the design and control and risk management SOPs that CG provided have been very helpful. Again, it kind of explains the entire process, defining the different terms and the different steps of how to get things done. I kind of talked about that portal that they made for us. It has, I guess it's 57 different micro lessons. Again, quick snippets to steps to do exactly what you are trying to do right now. Also, OCM is something that we talked about earlier. Again, this just made sure that the communication was always there. I just want to make sure that people always know what's going on, when it's going to happen, and why they're doing it, instead of just being told. And then yeah, I kind of talked about the adoption metrics earlier. And then right now, I still currently have actually weekly meetings with the team to make sure I can answer all their questions, and then just make sure that they're again adding feedback and comments and changing requirements to make sure we're always making things tighter and easier for everyone to understand. So yeah.
Excellent.